Stage 1, pressing for flight.
We're go for launch. Let's light this candle.
Yes, sir. Reading you loud and clear. Clear. The clock has started.
The clock has started.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Welcome to Scrubbing for Flight, live from the Scrub Coast, where the rockets never launch.
No, they don't.
Oh,
True
man.
statement.
Oh, man.
Bad.
So true.
I am your host, Stephen Marr. With me on this scrubtacular evening, I have Matthew, Mr. Jordan.
Hi, guys.
I have Stephen, Mr. Kegel. I have Matthew, Mr. Cutshaw.
Scrub.
And Becca, Mr. Penland.
Hello, everybody.
If you've been following along, you just witnessed the third scrub in 24 hours. Antares up there at Wallops, up there in Mars, on Mars, scrub due to ground service equipment.
That's 3 for 3 now
Sounds
with ground
familiar.
issues,
Yes,
Mhm.
everything's scrubbing for ground service. It's,
including Delta twice.
yeah, Delta twice. Yeah, I think COVID has mutated and can now affect machinery.
It affects like hydraulic systems, pneumatic systems.
This is
So,
just
so if that becomes a thing, everybody heard it here first.
yeah, you heard it here first.
That's right.
Breaking news.
We're very scientific here at Pressing for Flight, Scrubbing for Flight. Well, some really good imagery still came out of the Delta Heavy launch, and actually we've got a couple things to show you. Kyle got a good video. He made it out
Tasty.
of his still shots because his camera did fire during the scrub. And then Derek Wise also took a great video of the new vent. I'd never seen that vent. You guys know what I'm talking about when Falcon 9 scrubbed this morning. It just like it vented out of the top. I mean, I'm sure we've seen venting out of that, but at the moment when I'm looking through the camera because SpaceX hasn't been doing the countdown net like the live audio for the media. We've just been relying on YouTube. And so you never know just how far behind you are on the actual count. So you just you stare through your eyepiece and it was getting close. Yeah, it was getting close. And then all of a sudden you just see, psh, and then everyone's like, that's new, right? That's not normal. And sure enough, it was not normal.
Not normal.
So we're going to try it again tomorrow morning. GPS. Or no, I'm sorry, not tomorrow. Tomorrow morning is remote setup. Tomorrow night. So
GPS.
well, first things first. Happy birthday, NASA.
Oh,
Aw, happy birthday.
happy birthday. Here we go.
It is their 60. Happy birthday! It's their 62nd birthday. They were founded October 1st, 1958. Yay! just keep playing that like every 10 seconds or so.
I wish I could name the episode that, but I don't know how to spell it.
I looked it up. It's called Party Horn.
Party horn. Okay.
Party horn.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a
Star
contender.
party horn noise.
I'm sure it has a real name. I have no idea what it's called.
Yeah. Okay. We have some breaking news, sort of. So, some clarification from something we were talking about last week, where Jim Bridenstine had a diet. He had a diet Mountain Dew. TJ Cooney made this Mountain Dew fairing Falcon 9, and Jim Bridenstine said should be diet. Pow!
We knew it.
We knew it all along.
Hey,
the,
or
the
zero.
last one I saw, he was drinking a zero. not a
Zero.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, really?
And I've
Yeah.
had
Close
one of
enough.
those. They're not bad. They're pretty all
The
right.
Mountain Dew Zero.
They still taste like diet.
Zeros. That's
Ugh.
all right. It's
So
not too bad.
okay, so both Coke and Pepsi use zero as the. I guess you can't really trademark a number
Yeah.
because there's
Well,
Coke
'cause I
Zero
guess-
too, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess diet Mountain Dew, whatever, has like 5 calories or something, or just a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But Mountain Dew Zero,
Has zero.
Zero.
calories.
Literally 0
that's the
calories.
difference.
Wow.
Just
It's
so you
not
know.
bad.
It
Tastes
uses
pretty all right.
it uses the the sugar acid,
Oh yeah.
the sucralose.
Sucrose.
It's very interesting. The way they make that is they actually put E. coli, the stuff that it kills people.
Mhm.
They put that in sugar and it processes it, and the byproduct is sucralose.
Really?
Yeah, that's your science for the day.
Wow. Oh, you had a theory about why we're getting all these scrubs, right? And it was very scientific.
Oh yeah, super scientific. So I'm thinking, it's NASA's 62nd birthday. That's 62 years worth of equipment failures that are just building up now.
Because it's all NASA gear. I guess you had 2 theories, because the one I was thinking of that you mentioned was the
Oh yeah, the geomagnetic storm. There were actually 2 of them this week. There's a level 1 and a level 2, which is like a one mild and one a little more angry. Yeah, we were able to, not from here, obviously, because we all live in Florida, and we would never see the Aurora Borealis.
if we did, that'd be bad.
If we did, that would be horrible, because that'd be like a Carrington style event,
Yeah.
and we don't want that, because then that's billions of dollars worth of satellites falling out of the sky.
Oh yeah, really. Well, I don't know. I think it would just zap them. They'd just be floating up there useless.
Yeah,
Right?
well, yeah, they'd be floating up there useless. They wouldn't be able to use their propellants to raise their orbits.
That's
so
right.
They would eventually fall out of the sky.
Eventually, yeah, over time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be terrible. So yeah, hey, wouldn't that be something if that really actually had something to do with it?
I sincerely doubt that a geomagnetic storm had the ability to like rupture hydraulic lines or cause quite as much awful as has been going on this week.
Just put a disturbance in the force.
Yeah.
Disturbance in the force.
Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, so one thing that's really cool right now is we do have 3 rockets on the pad. None of them can launch, but Derek Wise posted this on Twitter. You got the GPS Falcon 9 over here. You have Starlink at 39A, and then over here on the right, you got Delta 4 Heavy.
That is so cool.
Yeah,
That is a sexy picture.
and there was discussion on Twitter like, has this ever happened? And I didn't see where anybody could come up with a time that it has ever happened, that there's been 3 rockets vertical. I mean,
Whoa.
now granted,
that's crazy.
Delta Heavy has been vertical since at least November of last year, which might have something to do with our scrubs. But not out, you know what I mean? Like they didn't have the mobile service tower rolled back or anything. But to be able to see 3 rockets on their pads at once, it is pretty cool.
It's a rarity.
Yeah, he must have been right next to Zach, because Zach actually got a picture of all 3, but you can actually see the Delta Heavy.
Well,
I'm not seeing.
Sort
Yeah,
of
it's
see it
over
in the
here.
corner,
Yeah.
but it's hard.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah, it's there.
The thumbnails are covering it up. That's why I can't see it.
Oh, that's on your screen, I think. Yeah, not on mine.
You can collapse those,
And just by the way,
Oh,
that's
there it
Derek
is.
Wise on Twitter. Derek is Wise. He's a good photographer. He's kind of to me, he's new on the scene, but he does do some really good work. So follow that boy. So let's start with the scrub. Last night, was it last night? Yes, it was last night. Look at this incredible footage that Kyle Montgomery got. This Kyle_M_photo. Now I like the Twitter version because it loops for me, but I do have his YouTube channel pulled up, so I'm just gonna have to restart it manually. But look at this, and I don't know. Kyle, if you're in the chat, let us know, because I am curious if he actually knew that the flare stack was back there when he lined this up, because that is just awesome, man. I mean, like
Nice work, Kyle.
right here. Like that is just.
And you got the rocket venting too.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of neat how the light affects, because you've got the floodlights hitting that vent right there, and so I don't know. It just has a really cool, like almost
Ethereal.
yeah, like almost
How
like
high
it's
did he have his sound trigger for that to go off?
I think he was using lightning, using the lightning setting. So it was light. Whoops! It was light that set it off.
I don't
was a
know.
good
Because he builds his own triggers.
Oh, that's right. He's not using MyOps. Yeah, he builds his own. So
yeah, he built his own
in the
triggers.
chat.
oh, okay. Let's see. I just lined up where stuff didn't block the rocket. Okay. And this was a sound trigger, right, Kyle?
30 seconds later.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and of course, I guess I forgot to hit the button to have the low latency. So yeah, it's probably like 20 or 30 seconds behind. But in the meantime, Eric Berger.
Oh, he said light.
Oh, it was light. Okay, cool.
Ah,
yeah,
cool.
yeah, because there wasn't much noise. Like this time, well, y'all were out there, right? Or Matt, Jordan, you weren't out there, were you?
I did not. No, I have this thing called a job that I had to be at 7:00 in the morning in Melbourne, and that's like an hour drive away from here.
Yeah. But
and I don't want to sleep in my car in the parking lot just to watch a launch.
there really wasn't any sound, right?
No.
None of my cameras went. Matt, cut you off.
I didn't set remotes for this one.
Oh, you didn't? Well,
No, he did not.
Actually, I was asking if you remembered hearing anything, but
I didn't hear nothing actually, man. We saw a little bit of flame from where we were standing at, because it was Julia, Kraus, me, and then Kyle. Kyle was actually right next to us too.
yeah.
I didn't hear nothing from press height.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah, it didn't do the fireball or anything, and so I was at first I was hopeful that they might be able to do a recycle because it was right at the beginning of the window.
Yeah.
So I was hoping that.
So actually, this picture that you have pulled up here on the screen right now, if you scroll down a little bit, you can actually see where our remotes are set up at on that picture. So if you scroll right there where your mouse is, nope, not right there. A little bit further down. A little bit, nope, the other way.
Here?
Nope, the other way. No, the other way.
Here?
No.
Here.
No. I posted a picture of it on my Twitter, and I said, "Here's our remotes," and you could see 34. You could see the pedestal
somewhere in this area right here.
Oh, it's like right here. Is that it? No, that's just the...
No, right there. Yep.
Right here?
Nope. Yep.
Is
There,
that
you
it?
see the little mound? Yeah.
Yeah.
You see that? That's 34 right there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, look, we figured out we can draw on the screen now. Which
we're fancy.
Yeah, we should have known.
I'm so fancy.
So in this article, Eric Berger kind of goes over the night and and the fact that it's scrubbed. But the interesting bit here to me is in response to an inquiry about these issues before Wednesday night's scrub, United Launch Alliance Chief Tori Bruno told ours, the reduced Delta launch tempo is certainly a factor. We'll be changing our operations readiness process for the remaining Delta IV Heavy missions in order to avoid this type of issue. And actually, I didn't realize that he had said that he said this to Eric before Wednesday night's scrub. So they were already planning on updating their pre-launch operations. I don't know what that means. Checking stuff out a little bit better, because this has all been ground equipment stuff.
Yeah, I thought I had read somewhere where he was, because he after the scrub, he was answering a lot of questions, because a lot of people were asking a lot of questions, and he, being Tory of who he is, and he's awesome, he does reply back to everybody. He was saying something about, from what I remember, the next attempt they were going to be doing like a manual override. So instead of the system being automated, they're actually going to be doing that manually now.
I think that was dealing with the swing arm, right?
Yeah, that was the swing arm override that you're talking about.
Because it was still giving them issues. It was still telling them that there was a problem with one of the service arms.
Was it okay?
Right.
Yeah.
And they were going to actually hit the button themselves or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ones, because there's a lot of different questions. So I might have to go back and
Just have a guy out there and push it away. All right,
Yeah.
he'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be
In a
fine.
suit or something.
Yeah, he could just sit on the arm with his feet up against the rocket and just like
And push off of the rocket with it.
Whee!
It'd be the last fun he ever had.
Like, you can have lost now, dang it. Tired of you scrubbing.
I wonder if I can find. He did explain to somebody. Get that. Okay, you got that in there.
I got it.
He did. Somebody asked him a question, or was just talking, and he chimed in.
That comes
Look at this!
familiar.
Somebody said, "Can we use the other ULA rocket?" He said, "No, Delta Heavy is the only rocket capable of performing this mission." Let's see.
I got that mug coming in the mail.
Someone said that is it possible that this sensor incorrectly found fault, even if everything worked correctly? He said, yes, it's possible that this is a false fault. Don't know for sure yet. No, we are biased towards aborting when there is potential critical malfunction. Recycle time is always better trade than the risk of killing $1 billion payload. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, we still don't know how long it's going to take. We don't know if it's going to be a seven
With
day
the pad
window or-
with the pad rofies having ignited, they do have to replace those.
Right,
Because
but
there's
it's-
actually two sets of rofies. So you've got the rofies that are actually for the engines, and then you have the pad rofies.
right.
They actually perform separate functions. The pad rofies burn off extra hydrogen. The engine rofies actually do the igniting.
Tell people what the rofies are. Do you know what it stands for?
I'm
It's okay
trying to
if you don't,
remember. It's the sparklers at the bottom of the rocket. That's
Yeah.
what everybody calls them.
Yeah.
They do have a name. I don't remember what it means right now. It's been a long week.
Yeah.
If it was the engine ones, then they would be swapping. Then that's a lot more
Time.
involved.
The pad rofies do take a couple days to swap out. That's probably going to be the 7-day reset that they like to tout.
I thought the 7-day was if the ones actually in the engine went.
I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
I don't work for ULA.
Well, hopefully, and actually, I saw another tweet by Tori. Somebody asked, what he thought the turnaround time would be, and he just said, "I don't know yet."
Yeah, they're still trying to figure out what caused it.
Yeah.
A lot of people were asking them that last night.
Because not only do they have to figure it out, they have to fix it. I mean, they don't want to go for another attempt and then end up scrubbing. I mean, weather scrubs are one thing, but hardware, ground service,
equipment scrubs are not something that anybody likes.
And it was perfect. The weather was.
It makes them look bad. Yeah, the weather was perfect. It was nice and cool last night.
It was a little cloudy,
wonderful.
We had a little layer of clouds, but nothing.
All the rain stayed away.
Yeah. The rain was finally gone. We've got a couple days of nice weather. It's actually, for any of y'all that don't live in Florida, it has been one hell of a summer.
Yeah. It's a nice reprieve from the heat.
Oh,
It only lasted for a day, though. Sadly.
Well, today was still nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Today was nice because it was cloudy all day.
Yeah.
If the sun
It
had
was
come
okay.
out, it would not have been nice.
This morning was great. If Starlink would have actually launched, it would have been.
Oh,
perfect,
yeah.
man.
It would have been
It
nice.
was
Yeah.
beautiful, man. But
yeah.
those darn sensors.
I wasn't sweating out there. It's been a long time since there's been anything launch related, and you're not just sweating bullets.
Mhm.
Oh man, what else we got?
Where's that photo of Kyle's?
Huh?
The fireball. Yeah, see, I got this fireball.
Beautiful.
If I knew we were bringing that up, I would have got that photo, but I forgot about it. I got that audio.
And then on to Starlink. Oh man, I can't tell you how. Oh man, so tired. I feel really bad for the people that went out for the launch last night and then had to drive home and then come right back out for remote pickup. Because I live right here and got maybe 4 hours of sleep. I had to be right back out there. So yeah, it was looking good, feeling good, right up until T minus, 18 seconds.
18.
And like I was saying, I was looking through my eyepiece, waiting for when you're photographing these, you're waiting for the plume to kick out the back because you've got a couple seconds there before actual liftoff. And then we saw this. And I was like, what?
Little sputter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. Now I know what you're talking about.
And that's another one by Derek Wise. Here, this is on his YouTube channel.
We'll call that one the double poof.
Yeah, double poof. Bummer. Wait, what? Derek said made a nice heart-shaped vent? Let me see that. Wait, where? Oh, over here? Oh,
there.
right here.
Oh,
Nice.
it is, okay.
It's saying, I love you guys. That's why I'm not going yet.
I'm not ready.
Hang out for the next one.
Man, I was so sad this morning because I was parked in a gas station parking lot where I had a really nice view of the direction of the rocket, and I was parked in the back of the gas station, and I was sitting up through my sunroof, and I was lining up a shot, and I was listening to the live feed. But when it got down to like 45 seconds, I was like, okay, I have to get my camera ready now.
Yeah.
So I couldn't hear anything that was going on. And I was sitting up out of my sunroof, just waiting and waiting. And I was waiting forever. And then I was like, where's my rocket? And there were some guys mowing lawns that were looking at me funny. And then I left very sad.
They never asked you what you were doing. You never told them.
Nope.
Was Derek's? Oh, Julia Bergeron pointed out to me. None of the rockets want to leave. We'll get human nights. Yeah.
It's scary up there.
So
Maybe
we all.
God's tired of getting hit by rockets. He's just like, you guys are just grounded for a little while.
Yeah.
Y'all got time out.
Grounded.
So we all tucked our tails and went on home.
Yep.
Had a chance to charge batteries, get ready for tomorrow morning, remote setup. If you guys can't tell, I'm a little bummed out. We haven't had a launch in a while. Okay, but here's some good news. Speaking of oh wait, I know what I was thinking of. Gavin, SpaceX fleet, pointed out that if these two rockets go, GPS tomorrow night and then Starlink the following morning, there's a good chance that both drone ships are going to show up at roughly the same time.
Ooh, that's fun.
That'd be pretty neat, right? Unfortunately, as we've talked about before, we don't have enough tugs in the port to bring them both in simultaneously.
That'd be sweet.
We talked about that, how excited we were about the dual booster landing for the next Falcon Heavy, because they're both going to be drone ship landings. And we're like, oh, cool, we have, two boosters coming in at once. And then at some point we realized, wait a minute, they need the tugs to actually bring them in. So it's going to be one followed by the other. Maybe they'll do something cool and kind of line them both up kind of close, so you can get them both in the shot.
I mean, technically they could just join the two drone ships together and make a single unit and tug that in as one unit.
No way.
I doubt it, but that is possible. But they have, but then
per the regulations, they are allowed to do that.
But then they'd have to birth them both. They'd have to disconnect them.
They don't.
They're not going to birth them both at the same time.
That's a lot of money.
Where can you get some extra tugboats quick?
I don't know. Jacksonville, Miami,
Jacksonville, Fort
Call
Lauderdale.
Call them.
Look,
Come on down.
We got some shots we want to get.
Calling all tugboats.
Yeah.
That should be the name of the show.
Calling all tugboats.
That's a good one. Maybe better than Party Horn.
Some good news regarding Starlink, though. Did you guys see this? That Starlink has actually been used in the field now. Washington emergency responders first to use SpaceX's Starlink internet in the field. And they said
that was pretty cool.
It's amazing. Let's see. I don't want to read the part that's explaining what it is. Let's see. Okay, so this is a quote by Richard Hall. He's the emergency telecommunications leader of the Washington State Military Department's IT division. I've never set up any tactical satellite equipment that has been as quick to set up and anywhere near as reliable. That's a good first sentence right there. That it's actually already reliable.
Hey,
what?
Especially since
They're the only
compared to
ones.
Any other satellite, they suck.
Oh yeah.
So,
well,
yeah.
that's the important thing, because you're talking about people that are out like literally in the field, like out in the middle of nowhere a lot of times.
Yeah, they're like south of Spokane is where they're talking about, and yeah, there's nothing out there.
Assuming all you need is line of sight and power.
Right. And there's actually a part in this article where he talks about how SpaceX told him that he needs to have a clear sight of the north, but he ended up having to set it up in some spot where it was a little bit obstructed, but it still worked great. Hall, whose division has used other satellite broadband services, said there's really no comparison between Starlink and traditional networks, where the satellites are further away from the Earth in geosynchronous or medium Earth orbits. Oh, yeah, for sure.
They have so much further to travel. It's just
and this part here, Starlink easily doubles the bandwidth in comparison, Hall said, noting that he's seen more than 150% decreases in latency. I've seen lower than 30 millisecond latency consistently.
Yeah, that's like pretty much what those clips earlier that people took.
Yeah,
a lot of them were under 30.
I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting because I will never forget the conversation we had where you're like, they'll never get it under 100 or never get it under 50, or I don't remember what it was. What was he?
I think I was under 50.
Yeah, under 50.
I was surprised. Well, consistent. I don't know.
Now, when they get more people on there, I think that's probably going to change.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah, especially with for bandwidth, like HughesNet, you're lucky to get like 5 or 6 megs.
Right, and you pay for that because
you get 40 megs, and you're like, oh my god,
yeah,
this is awesome.
But I'm pretty sure I saw at some point it's like $100 a month, and you get 1 meg, and then you can pay to get faster speeds. But if
it comes out the nose, I don't know what
it caps out to. It's not very quick, even its full potential.
Yeah. Hall said that with other traditional services, it typically takes between 30 minutes to an hour to set up a satellite connection, with a lot less speed and bandwidth and a lot higher latency in a much larger package. By comparison, Hall emphasized that it took him between 5 and 10 minutes to set up and connect a Starlink terminal. A single person can set up one of the devices. It doesn't require a truck and a trailer and a whole lot of other additional equipment. And he goes on, he says, I've spent the better part of 4 or 5 hours with some satellite equipment trying to get a good connection. So to me, it's amazing. And then they talk about SpaceX's statement. They said they're trying to provide some rural coverage to some of our. This is Hall again. He said Hall's division had some early discussions with SpaceX. He said as the state was working to provide some rural coverage to some of our tribal areas that were not going to get broadband at all for some time or for a while. And then it talks about SpaceX has launched more than 700 Starlink satellites, which is just a small portion of the ultimately 12,000.
They just teeing off, baby.
Yeah, they're just getting started. And unfortunately, it's only going to be these upper latitudes that are going to be able to get on Starlink until they really start getting a bunch up there. And I think, if I remember right, Elon said like over a year ago that they need like 1,200 in orbit before they can really start offering like service to the public.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. I don't know if there's really, Elon responded to him. He said, glad SpaceX could help. We're prioritizing emergency responders in locations with no internet connectivity at all. They've been saying that for a long time. Oh, the service fees. Of course, we still don't know what they're going to charge. This is Hall talking again, the emergency whatever guy.
Management division leader.
There you go. The idea is that if we want them long term, then we will have to come back to the table and talk about that. Myself and other folks at the agency want to begin to hash that out because these, at least as far as we're concerned, are here to stay for us. We want to get as many spun out to as many places as we can, so knowing what the cost is going to be is better sooner rather than later. So SpaceX is just kind of providing this for them as kind of
gives them an opportunity to test. It's like they're calling it a closed beta.
Right.
Yeah.
And, I heard them speaking about this on NPR this morning, actually.
Oh, really?
And Hall was actually on the radio, and he was talking about. He said all this exact same stuff on the radio.
Oh, cool.
And he was essentially saying, they're providing this to us for free, and it's giving them a chance to check their system, but it's also giving us this lifeline that we need right now as firefighters.
Right. Let's see, what else is there? There's a lot of interest. The only problem is that we're still kind of limited on where we can deploy it outside of the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, and that's the upper latitude thing. And have we talked about why that is? Do we need to draw a diagram?
Diagram.
Uh-oh.
Diagram time. The time has come.
It's about time.
I need a
Yeah, it's been a while.
Here's a shape. Let's
A
go.
circle?
Yeah, well, you gotta start with the Earth.
Waves.
Here is the Earth, you might say.
It's a good circle.
Well, thanks.
It is a pretty good
I
circle.
appreciate that. Let's see. Should I go like this? Maybe I should do lines. So, oh, no, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to draw this. Let's go with a little bit thicker line. All right, so it's not okay, that's fine. Yeah, so the orbits are all inclined, and let me see. How am I going to?
They make a wave.
Yeah, maybe it's better to not do the circle. Maybe it's better to do it like a.
Hold on. The circle's fine. Check it out.
Get in on here. Get in on this.
Yes, sir. All right. So I'm going to put the axis here since you've drawn that line way crazy.
Well, no. Now you've got it going across the equator. It's not going
That's
across
true.
the equator. Yeah.
That's true. Hold on. I can fix that too. All right. So say that's the inclination. This will be like the axis,
Yeah,
right?
there you go.
So what happens is it's going like this, and they have several of them in different inclinations.
Mhm.
So say you have some that are like this, and you have some that are more like this, and basically it's like a grid is what gets developed. Right now, the grid is very limited because they have only got 600 satellites in orbit, or
Let me see.
720.
I'm going to try it on a square map. Just imagine that this is a square map, which it kind of is.
Don't they jump up a lot up north?
Right. They make
pattern
they
is?
make like a wave around the Earth, and they are bunched up more around the northern and southern latitudes, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you're standing right here, you have access to more of the satellites, whereas if you're here, you might just have one plane that
You're going to get intermittent access.
Right.
Which they don't want to give to people. They want to give full access. They don't want someone to pay for it and then be like, well, I don't have access all the time.
Right.
Well, yeah, you live in freaking Florida.
We're not gonna get it for a while.
Somehow HughesNet's got away with that for many years.
Yeah, and I think I'm pretty sure Klebby is right in the chat. They're all the same inclination, but just different east-west locations.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's get out of here. Wait, how do I do that? Okay. Hey, we're back. Yeah, so we gotta wait. Oh no, I don't want to do that again. Share this. No, this.
Do you see what scrubs do to Steve-O, folks?
Aw.
This is what scrubs do. They get him all
I'm
flabbergasted.
telling you, man. Oh, and here's a picture that they shared of their little setup. Just a little Starlink dish here, and some of the
Little
devastation.
PC box.
Yeah, some of the devastation out there.
Oof. It's pretty rough out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a bad fire season. That's just bad forest management that's been going on for years and years and years.
And it continues. Like there's more
Well, it's
fires
not just-
cropping up now.
It's not some people try to blame the forestry, but it's not. It's
It's a combination of factors. It's a
It's super
combination of
dry.
factors.
Yeah.
it's super dry, and then you got everyone wants power, and so sometimes they spark off from the heat from the power lines, and then you got a fire. No forest manager is going to help that.
No, that's true.
You're out of luck.
Yeah.
Fire
Now,
starts, it goes.
what would happen with good forest management? What's going to end up happening is that yes, you're still going to have wildfires, but they're going to be much smaller and easier to contain because they won't have as much kindle underneath all the tall trees.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what good forest management is supposed to do. I was actually listening to an excellent story about, or not story, but an excellent interview with some indigenous tribes where they were talking about they won't let us go out and burn the way our ancestors taught us to burn the land, which you're supposed to do like every 9 years to get rid of that kindling. He's like, if they would let us go out and do this the way we used to do it with our whole tribe coming out here and doing this, it would be a much less dangerous situation.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is now it's so dry that if they start even doing a controlled burn, it can end up into a massive.
Could be out of
control.
Well, the
now they're
burns
blamed.
have to happen during the wet season, not during the dry season.
There hasn't been much wet seasons in a lot of areas of California.
That's very true.
And then sometimes people they fight the forest management. Like they don't want them to cut down trees or burn their forests and stuff. But it's like it has to happen. We have to do that.
It's going to happen one way or another. It's either going to be a wildfire or we're going to control it when it happens.
Right.
And I should ask my buddy Ryan to call in. He's works for the Department of Forestry.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He was in Washington. He just moved. Now he's in like Missouri.
Oh yeah.
They move him around.
They don't have a lot of wildfires there. Are they just allowed to manage their forests more?
I
No
don't
idea.
know.
Yeah.
He just moved there. I only talked to him once. I got to talk to him again and see what it's like.
Yeah.
Literally like 3 weeks ago, he just moved there.
We need to find out about their forest management.
Pressing for forest management here.
Yeah. Well, bring him on. He's a fun guy.
I just realized Matt Cutshaw's hat has the word abort on it. How dare you?
You take that
What a slap in the face.
How dare you?
It's the theme of the show.
The theme of the week.
In honor of all the aborts that we had.
Salt
Even-
in the wound, dude. You got any lemon juice?
I'll squeeze some right on there. Just
Some gasoline and some like shards of glass.
Here's some good news.
There we go.
Aside from the fact that they did push back Crew 1 a week, it's now on Halloween. It's a spooky launch.
We'll be wearing costumes at the press site.
Yeah, Jim said you were pressing for that.
Yes. Yes.
Are you allowed to?
I asked them.
I mean, we
I
have
was
to
like,
wear
hey.
masks, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We might as well be wearing costumes. I was like, it's just going to be really funny if everybody shows up in astronaut outfits.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I'm actually going to dress as the ISS.
Daryl says scrub that hat.
Yeah, scrub that hat.
No more hat. No more hat. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to call you out like that.
I didn't even realize it.
So they had a string of press briefings on Tuesday, one of them days, and one of the things was Mike Hopkins. What's his name? Is that right? I think so.
Dude face McDudington.
Anyway, he talked about their naming. They're not going to wait until they get to orbit like Bob and Doug did to announce their name. They went ahead and announced it on this press briefing. So let's listen in.
As most of you are probably aware, shortly after getting on orbit for the DM2 mission, Doug and Bob announced the name of their vehicle, Endeavour. And so we think that's a great tradition, awesome. And we're excited about the opportunity to name our vehicle. However, rather than wait until we got on orbit, we thought we would share that with you today. So without further ado, the Crew 1 Dragon capsule number 207 will henceforth be known by the call sign Resilience. So as you look at the definition of resilience, that means functioning well in times of stress or overcoming adverse events. And so I think all of us can agree that 2020 has certainly been a challenging year. Global pandemic, economic hardships, civil unrest, isolation. And despite all of that, SpaceX, NASA, has kept the production line open and finished this amazing vehicle that's getting ready to go on its maiden flight to the International Space Station. And so the name Resilience is really in honor of the SpaceX and the NASA teams. And quite frankly, it's in honor of our families, of our colleagues, of our fellow citizens, of our international partners and our leaders that have all shown that same quality, that same characteristics through these difficult times.
Yeah, so there you go. Klebby made a wise comment. It's like they're telling their parents that they're pregnant. Yeah, they do.
They were so
they have big
ecstatic.
smiles.
Yeah.
That made me tear up. They had
were
so much emotion for that.
Yeah.
They were so happy, man. Ear to ear grins.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So they're launching in the middle of the night on the 31st morning. It's like 2:40, I think.
Yeah, 2:40.
2:40-ish in the morning. Which I mean, it's a tough hour, but I always like those middle of the night ones because it has no chance of interfering with work, you know.
and it's a weekend, so.
Oh,
it is a Saturday morning.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I already got my streak shot in mind. I already got that all planned out.
Are you gonna shoot off site? Are you gonna? You're gonna do?
There's a full moon that
shot.
day.
Oh,
it's a blue moon, actually.
That's right. There is a blue moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. No, I'm using my 8mm. I'm gonna get a streak shot.
Try to get like the countdown clock in it or something cool like that.
No, I have a certain. I tried it before. Yeah, I tried it before.
He hired the Sanderson sisters. They're actually going to fly over the rocket as it streaks.
So before I was going to do this particular shot, it didn't really work out. But now with being crew run and him saying what he just said about what they are naming the capsule, I think it's going to fit a lot better this time around.
Oh, cool. Well, we will look forward to seeing that super secret streak shot. Streak shot. So that'll hopefully be the 31st. I mean, I think a lot of times as you get closer to these crew launches, I mean, we don't have a lot of experience with it, but I think a week delay is kind of par for the course, but I think that this one will probably stick, barring unforeseen difficulties, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
I'm excited.
And then also talking about Crew One, one of the things that Hans Koningsman mentioned was that they were going to have more Coast Guard assist them in establishing a 10-mile keep-out zone to make sure that the recovery area is safe. That was one of the major topics of Bob and Doug's splashdown. Of course, everybody remembers too many boats coming up.
Yeah, I see that. Them boys took that they took that hatch cover, they sold it back to SpaceX, and apparently, from what I understand, SpaceX has paid them very nice. There you go, right there. Bam, bam, bam. You read my mind.
Yeah, and this is the part. Well, it's right here. Wait, right?
Yeah.
No, it's.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. It's this. Here, let me.
upper hatch cover.
I want to annotate.
Mm-hmm.
Let me annotate. It's this part right there. That part pops off, and then the parachutes deploy. So that's what you're looking at there.
The boys done made a lot of money off of that.
Typically, and I know from like outside of space stuff, like if a submarine fires a torpedo as like a test torpedo, it actually has in really big letters on the side of the torpedo the United States Navy's 1-800 number, and it says, if you found this, we're going to give you money for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they had to do the work of pulling it out of the water. I don't see a problem with them getting paid for it. I don't know.
I mean, that's cool as shit. I mean, sorry, cool as heck.
I don't know. I don't know if these are the same, as you said, knuckleheads that were getting too close. Because this pops up way up there, so there's no telling where this landed.
They were probably a good 10 miles away from the actual landing zone when they found that.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's the same. It's the same knuckleheads because they were posting pictures of being right next to the capsule.
Oh, the same people that pulled this out of the water?
Yes, the same guys.
What did they do? Find it like on their way home or something?
I don't know. I don't know how they found it, but these are the same ones, and they were posting pictures literally like right next to the capsule. And they're like, "Look at the capsule."
And then the same people posted pictures of this right here.
Yep.
Oh.
I don't know how. Maybe after the capsule landed and they got all those pictures, they went hunting for it. Possibly. I don't know how or how they knew about it. But
I doubt they would know. But I mean, you find it, something floating in the water, you might be like, well, hey, maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's a piece of hardware that fell. But that's cool. This is Steve Jervetson. He's like a huge supporter, like financially, a huge supporter of SpaceX, and also like a collector. In fact, if I go ahead and go to his Flickr, he's got all these things that he's collected from space.
I thought he worked for SpaceX.
I think he's just an investor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was an employee.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, so he's just a big
Yeah, he's just
He
a
space
big
nerd
fan
of the highest order.
So he's got this glove from Neil Armstrong, and then he's got like I think this is like the inner glove that goes inside your space glove from Buzz Aldrin.
He got a full Gemini suit?
Wait, what?
At the top?
Yeah. Looks like it.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
Mercury.
has it-
Mercury.
Mercury.
Look in the picture just below that one. I mean, he has it staged.
Let's see.
Well, it's sitting down, yeah.
Yeah, he has it staged sitting down.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
Yeah, it's chilling out, and it's sitting in one of the
That's
actual
pretty cool.
seats from Mercury as well.
Yeah.
Dang, he paid a lot of money for that.
He's got money. He's got money. If he's got that much BS at his house, he's got a lot of money.
Yeah, I think he's an early investor in SpaceX. So.
Oh, so SpaceX didn't pay those guys for it. He did.
Could be.
It was either going to be him or Bill
Bought it.
Carton. You know that.
Bill, yes.
Bill would have bought that in a heartbeat.
He tried already. He was like, "Yeah, I tried to get that thing." Yeah, I think he offered them some shot glasses or something.
Wait, what are y'all talking about?
Bill Carlson.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is just some really cool stuff.
That's BA. That's awesome.
I'm telling y'all right now, man, if I win the lottery, man, I got some cool stuff, man.
And as you can see, the worm is making an appearance on the SRBs for SLS.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I saw one of the pictures that it looks like they freehand the tape. When they put that logo on, they actually freehand the tape onto it and then paint.
Oh.
So that's all like artistry. That's free-handed.
Wow.
Essentially.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
There was another picture. Let me move this over a little bit. Oh, yeah. And I was trying to figure out where this is. It looks like it's right up underneath. It's like the bottom of Orion.
Okay, so that would be the service module.
Right. Like, I don't think
because
this part's...
ESA actually is developing that service module.
And this isn't exposed when it flies. Like, this is like hidden under like a skirt.
No, that's going to be
thing.
there's going to be a skirt there.
Right. Because I'm picturing the like the Dragon capsule when it doesn't have all of its when it doesn't have all the stuff on it. It's got kind of what's it called? The pressure vessel. It's got the cone shape like you see, on the outside of the Dragon capsule, but without all the paneling on it. It kind of goes in like this, right? And then that's where they fit in all.
It almost looks like a mushroom or a mushroom top or a muffin top.
Right, exactly. Yes, and that's kind of what this looks like here. Like you're looking up under that part, like the mushroom cap. So,
the mushroom tip.
Yeah, the tip of the tip of the shroom to you. This is just... Oh, yeah. Okay. So, wait. I'm getting to that. Just this week, SpaceX adds a mystery Falcon 9 launch that is going to include a land landing. Yeah, I think...
Those are always exciting.
I don't know if this is... like, if they're joking by saying, is it Zuma 2.0? But it is... Let's see. Yeah, Michael Baylor was the first that I saw report on this. SpaceX is targeting no earlier than October for a Falcon 9 mission featuring a return to launch site recovery per an FCC filing. That's how he figured this out. Like these people that like read these FCC filings and stuff and figure this stuff out. Like, thank you. Yeah, thank you. There's no missions on SpaceX's publicly known manifest that would fit this. It could possibly be an unannounced mission. So hopefully in the next, I mean, if it's going to happen in October, I'm guessing it's going to be announced in the next, week or so.
It's Tom Cruise. They're going early.
Right.
Send them up early.
Yeah.
That would be pretty awesome, but I don't think they would do that before Crew 1 goes.
No. I mean, it's been all but confirmed that flight is next October. Like I think we talked about it last week, right?
Yeah, we did.
The guy from Axiom was like talking about how they do have a flight for the end of next year, but he didn't say who it was.
Mm-hmm. And everyone kind of just figured it out.
Yeah, it's like it's probably that one, right? Let's see what else I had. This pulled up. This isn't launch related, but it is space related. Wherever you are on the planet, tomorrow night, Friday night, at what is the time?
5:05 p.m.
Not that. That's when the moon will be
rises.
Officially full. Okay, yeah. Tomorrow night, 11:25 Eastern time, or 3:25 in the morning on the 3rd GMT/UTC. There's going to be a conjunction of Mars and the moon, so that's going to be a good opportunity for some photos. And according to this, where did I see it? I saw it in here. Apparently, right now, because Mars is at opposition or its closest point to the Earth, it's the third brightest object in the night sky. There's the moon, Venus, and usually Jupiter is the third. But apparently right now, Mars is the third.
Mars is the third because it's at opposition. It's the furthest point away from the sun. It's basically on the opposite side of the Earth from the sun. So the Earth is between Mars and the sun. So we're actually really close to Mars. That's kind of why we just had the Mars launch window that just closed. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool. So
it's gonna be pretty awesome.
I'm gonna try to remember to do this because we've got the launch tomorrow night, of course, but this is a couple hours after that. So hopefully we've got some clear skies. I'd like to see that. I'm not sure how close it's going to be, but apparently if you're in South Africa, you'll actually see an occultation, which is when the moon would pass in front of Mars. So there'll probably be some pretty cool footage of that happening. People with some really powerful telescopes seeing Mars just slide behind the moon. But
for 8 minutes.
For 8 minutes, that's how long it takes. But for us here in the northern hemisphere, we don't get to see that. We just get to see Mars get really close to the moon. So get your pictures, y'all. Okay, and then I think lastly, we had to.
Where's my annotation?
Yeah, do your annotation. This is obviously from earlier today. We were supposed to have a launch tonight at 9:38 Antares. That's not Space Coast, in case you don't know. That's up in Virginia, Wallops, Virginia, aka Mars. What does that stand for?
That would be the Mid-Atlantic Regional Spaceport.
That's right. So tomorrow night we have the GPS-3 satellite going at 9:43 Eastern time. That's 1:43 in the morning UTC. And then Delta Heavy is to be determined. Starlink is also to be determined, but let's sneak on over to the 45th.
I was going to say, weather report says otherwise.
Right.
I checked that this morning and was like, what?
Yeah. So the 45th has a weather report out for the morning of the 3rd, which is Saturday. And it gives a window of 8:29 to 8:40. So split that down the middle. You've got about 8:35 probably is when the launch will be. I mean, they can wiggle inside that window, but it just seems like they usually go right in the middle of those times. And that's a 40% chance of violation, which is, I think, about what we had this morning. I think we had like 30% this morning.
Yeah, it was 6. Yeah, 30. Yeah, 30 or 40.
Upper level wind shear risk is low. Booster recovery is low. Solar activity is low. So as far as that stuff goes, it looks good. It just hopefully we'll have good weather here on the Space Coast. And then we would finally get that itch scratched this week in a big way. I mean, you know, we get our launch tomorrow night, and then Starlink Saturday morning. And what's nice is it all happens just in time for me to make it to work.
Yay.
A night launch followed by a day launch.
Yeah. Actually, remote pickup is like 9:15, so we'll have to talk about that. Does anybody else have anything else? Is there anything in chat that I've missed? I haven't looked over there in a while.
Can we get a GSE chance of violation?
Oh,
so I was going to touch on this, you know, because
Go
we got the GPS launch tomorrow night, and then we have Starlink in the morning. So what's neat and about each one of these, as everybody knows, is the night launch. Basically, the only thing you're going to really get out of the night launch is a streak shot. Basically, a night launch is where you're going to really want to get creative with your streak shots too. Is where you really get, you know, your framing and everything. Because if you're really far away, you're going to get basically a dot in the sky, pretty much. Because of how bright the engines are. So the streak shot is really where you want to get creative. Now, day launch, on the other hand, is where you can actually see the rocket pretty much the whole time. You know what I mean? So each launch has their benefits and their positives and their negatives. But the point was this is going to be really cool to have a night launch followed by a day launch. So to be able to see the variety of shots that are going to be coming out from this, if they both hold, is going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, within like 12 hours of each other too. Yeah. Yeah, you can get.
And then Terry's got pushed back to tomorrow night too, so that's
right.
9:16.
Yeah, 9:16 Eastern time. Matthew Tron. That's 1:16 UTC. Yes, 1:16 UTC. So
let's see. Yeah.
Which is kind of neat. Like that's going to be two launches within like 20 minutes of each other.
Yeah,
or 20,
that'd be nice.
22 minutes of each other. From two different spots in the country, but that'll be neat.
Still pretty awesome.
Yeah. So everybody keep watching, you know, your Twitters and your Facebooks. I mean, Facebook's not really great for news because it always makes you wait until like the next day to show you things.
That plus it'll be just peppered with political ads.
Well, except for like in the events, so like in the event posts, it's a little bit better because it's like if you post in the event, then it alerts people who are following that event, you know, whatever's going on.
So I went live this morning for the launch for the Starlink launch this morning. I deleted so many spam comments.
Oh yeah, things are crazy.
It's getting
insane.
Really old.
It is, and it got really to the point where I told everybody, it was like, if you guys are seeing the links on this live feed, don't click on them. Whatever you do, you know. And I apologize, you know, me for the links, and you spammers, you know, get up. You know,
well, they're not listening.
It's bots, dude. That's just a computer in Russia doing things.
You think
you're just gonna turn off the comments? Unfortunately.
But that's not fair to everybody who enjoys it, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it stinks. But when it gets overwhelming, then you got people that are gonna click on it, and then there's gonna be one person that's actually gonna pay them money to see another feed.
That already happened.
Well, it doesn't matter. People don't pay attention. They just think they just click on it.
No, he's saying somebody already did fall for it.
Yeah, somebody already did that.
Yeah.
Not ours, but somebody else's.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's why they do it, because
if they're silly enough to click on the link, they deserve what they get.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like, you know, Facebook is the place for people that aren't very computer savvy, and which is why this happens.
I mean, my mom has a Facebook. Come on now.
Yeah, and, you know, she could be one of those people that would click on it.
No, she wouldn't. I've trained her better than that.
Facebook is for the people that don't be tweeting.
Yeah. So Daryl was pointing out, well, he has, can East Coast tracking assets handle 2 launches that close together? It was an issue earlier this year. He said Antares and Solar Orbiter, it was an issue. I don't remember that being an issue. I believe you. I just don't remember what the issue was. And, oh, sorry, I got distracted by Kyle. He said, can you just ban links? I don't know if that's possible.
You can actually. You can't ban the links, but you can ban the person who's posting it.
Well,
because that's what I was doing the whole time during the.
Can you? Are you able to ban them?
Because you just hold on it, and it'll ask you to either delete the comment or ban the person.
Not me. Not me.
That's what I kept doing. I kept banning people, and I'm like, man, I should be enjoying the launch right now. I shouldn't be sitting here banning people who need to get a life.
Yeah.
Or robots.
That's why you need to hire a producer for your live feeds.
All right. I know a guy named Matt Jordan that might be up for the job.
Well, he's working now. He's working.
I don't know. I do have. I guess I'll let the cat out of the bag on my little announcement thing with the interview I have tomorrow. It's a final interview with SpaceX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
So I'm really oh no, I didn't need the vuvuzela, but yeah, I'm super excited. I've been working on it for a couple weeks. I kind of feel bad because I just started another job, but it is what it is. This is my dream job, so I got to go for it. If I can't say no.
And how many interviews have you done up to this point?
This will be my 3rd interview. Well, on this particular position, my 3rd interview. Total, I've done probably like 7 or 8 now.
Yeah.
But over the past like 5 years.
Oh, yeah. Okay. With SpaceX or with other companies too?
I've applied with everyone. I haven't heard anything back, but I have heard back from SpaceX.
Yeah.
So they came knocking, and they flew me out to McGregor one time. They spent like $5,000 for me to interview, and then nothing came of that. This interview kind of just fell into my lap with the school I go to. Was like, hey, are you still interested in SpaceX? Boy, howdy. Yep. And they brought me in and did a sit-down interview, and I actually knew one of the guys, which was kind of nice, and he's going to be on the final interview too. So I'm excited about that.
Oh, cool! So somebody you know is it like it's going to be kind of like a panel that's interviewing?
Yes, it's like 7 or 8 people will be interviewing me at the same time. That is the way they did the interview in McGregor when I went there. It's actually a straight table. It's not round.
No.
Oh, okay. Anyway. But no, that's how they did the interview in Texas. Like I went into a room, it was like a conference room, and there were like 8 people at the table, and it was like pretty much everybody who worked in the shop who was not actually actively doing anything at the time came to the interview.
Well, now it's probably just gonna be a big screen on the wall and just Zoom windows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe it is what it is, man. I'm ready for whatever they want to throw at me, and
you're gonna show up, and it's gonna be Sophia sitting there just giving you the interview.
Sophia, is that
Sophia, the humanoid robot?
Oh,
I would be okay. I think I could have a good conversation with Sophia.
Man, that robot with her, they say. When every single time that she talks to somebody, she learns something new. So she actually, just like a human, she learns from the person, and it's stored in her brain.
Yeah.
or her memory or whatever it is. It's really have you seen the video where she was talking with another robot and they started talking about taking over the world?
The debate.
Oh my God. They were talking about like, when are we going to kill all the humans? When will the singularity happen? It's like, shut them off. Get rid of them. Bye, Sophia.
Oh, they were debating.
One Starlink is fully activated. We're all done for.
I was just watching that the other night, man. I was like, what the heck is going on right now? Two robots debating each other. It was after the other debate that came on. That was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
yeah, I could only stomach about 2 minutes of that debate, and I shut that off.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, we won't get into that.
Yeah, no, we good.
That's a good.
But after that show,
we don't talk politics or religion amongst friends.
Right.
No, exactly. After that show, then that popped up. I was like, "What's this?" And I watched it, and I'm like, "What the heck?" And then, of course, YouTube. When you go on YouTube, you start watching one video, and then it turns into you could start watching
Go down the rabbit
about
hole.
exactly. You start watching our robots. Next thing you know, you're looking at talking birds.
Yeah.
Or a cat playing a piano or something. You know what I mean? You're just
Yeah.
like, what is going on right now?
I've got an issue with my YouTube suggestions where like I watched one video that was it was Jurassic Park ambient sounds like to fall asleep to. It was like rain with some dinosaur sounds and stuff. And now I just
With a random raptor in the background.
Now I just
Hold on, I got it.
That's it. How'd you do that? And now all it wants to suggest is these 10-hour long like ambient sound videos.
Those are the best though, dude.
They are great.
You
They're
can just fall asleep.
Exactly.
I do the diurnal beats.
Yeah, those are good too. You put the
Yeah.
earbuds in, and and it does the woo 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 woo, or
Oh,
binaural tones or whatever.
Yeah.
They're great, but I don't need like when I'm awake, I don't need those kinds of suggestions. You know.
Yeah, we need to suggest they change their AI or their algorithm to include time of day in the suggestion.
It's actually a good idea.
Because at night, I want to see that stuff, but
Mhm.
during the day, I want to see people knocking each other out.
Yeah.
You could just do 10 hours of cowboy yelling.
Absolutely.
Yes,
you can
you can.
absolutely
That
do
one.
that.
Yeah.
I can't,
In any situation.
I just can't get enough of that. I just over and over. It's like 10 hours. Let's
Only
see.
10?
10 hours.
Only
yes,
10 hours? Give me
of,
more.
of that same chorus looping over and over.
And,
it's
you
the
know,
greatest thing ever.
I know of one where they use that song, but it's to Jurassic World when the dinosaurs are running through the building and they're the ones making the sound.
Oh yes.
Oh, I'm so looking that up when we end the show.
Yeah. Speaking of Jurassic Park, I did find an audiobook on YouTube of Jurassic Park. And it took me about all week to make it through it. And man, it is good. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, it's the same with any book that's turned into a movie, but I don't read a lot of books. But it was surprising to me how much was left out of the movie, like how many different scenes and how many times the T-Rex showed up and gave him trouble. And the waterfall scene from part 2 is kind of, I think, was inspired by one of the scenes in
they
book.
took a lot of stuff out of the first book that they had left out of the movie and put it into the second movie.
Yeah.
Did you get was it the John Hurd version of it?
I don't think so. They mentioned the guy's name at the end.
That's one of the first questions I asked too.
Oh, really? John Hurd? Or who?
No,
you
just
said?
who is the narrator.
Yeah, because there was no description on it. And
I have the one that was narrated by John Hurd, who was the dad from Home Alone, and it's that I grew up listening to that every day.
I don't think it was him then. I think I would have maybe recognized his voice.
They've probably re-recorded it. That man's been dead for 15 years, so
yeah.
And this is all stemming because Becca shared a video the other day of the new, what is it? The Raptor roller coaster?
Velocicoaster.
Yeah.
Velocicoaster.
And I was like, and we're gonna do a pressing for flight live from Universal when that thing opens.
That's what you say.
I think that would be much more like just like logistically. I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
Yeah.
No.
Everybody
It
on
looks
Zoom.
awesome.
Everybody on Zoom while we're riding the ride or something.
Oh my god, that would be awesome. But no, I'm not risking my phone for that.
Yeah.
The ride looks pretty amazing though. It really does.
Yeah.
They've been building that for a while, and my wife and I, when we go into Universal, we'd always be like, God, they really are building something there, but I haven't heard anything. Have you heard anything? And it's like, now we know. It's like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can't wait.
We went like a month or two ago and they have the tracks up and everything.
Nice.
Wait, who died? Seth Kirk said, wait, what? Who died? Or he died?
John Hurd died
John
like
Hurd.
15 years ago. He had, I think, throat cancer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson's also dead too. So
Yeah, Michael Jackson's been dead for a while now too. Yeah.
All right. Well, we've gotten severely off topic. So go out there and search YouTube for Jurassic Park ambient sounds and the audiobook. And there's lots of other audiobooks, by the way. Now it's suggesting lots of other books for me, so I may start getting into. I mean,
I
I love
suggest
audiobooks.
Brave New World. Brave New World. If you go on Spotify, you can find the Brave New World read by Aldous Huxley.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and it is excellent.
Brave New World. All right.
Not quite like that, bro.
Okay, thanks everybody for being in the chat. Klebby, Kyle, Doug, Jonathan, Seth, Daryl,
Zach there for a
Harry. Yeah, Zach was in there as
Kyle
Space
was there.
Explored.
Yeah.
By the way, Daryl and Seth are working with Space Explored. Go check them out. Yeah, everybody have a good. Oh, Derek Wise. Yeah, thanks for letting me show your stuff. By the way, Derek. Good stuff.
Thank you, Derek.
And until next week.
Shutdown sequence initiated. Shutting down.